Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have two league games against Hansa Rostock at home, and we follow it up with a game against Furth as well. Hansa Rostock currently sat in 5th place, so they're chasing potential promotion and playoff place at the moment, and we're also playing Furth, as I mentioned. They're sat bottom of the league. Obviously, we had the welcome to the club video yesterday, and I'm pretty happy with the squad, to be quite honest, and with the tactic that we've set up, it certainly seems to be set up quite well. Our first game in charge, we won 6-0 at home against Regensburg. We followed it up with a 2-0 draw away against Schalke, who in my mind are one of the best teams in this league. And Elversberg did have a man sent off, but we did manage to beat them by 4 goals to 0 away from home as well. So 7 points from our first 3 games in charge. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And we have managed to make some signings in January as well. Um, the transfer window didn't go completely how I wanted it to. Unfortunately, Nikos Anganis, who was our key striker, the youngster that had come through the youth academy, he wanted to leave the club, and his release clause was activated by Wolfsburg for £4.7 million. So he ended up going there. Hoffenheim also triggered that clause. They offered to loan him back to us as well, so I was hoping he'd join Hoffenheim, but instead he went to Wolfsburg for 4.7 million, as I mentioned. And in terms of transfers, we did a lot of business at the very end of the window. It was all done on deadline day. We were desperate for a couple of signings to come in, and with Nganis leaving, it left a bit of a hole up front. But I'm quite happy with the signings we brought in. So Hugo is a Brazilian left back. He's not internationally capped or anything like that, but he's a very good left back for this level, between 2.5 and £6.8 million valuation. I think we've done really well to bring him in, and he will be a very solid option for us in there. Rodrigo Gonçalves has come in as a backup right back. He's only 18, which is why I brought him in. Obviously, we're looking a little bit to the future as well. We've signed him for £500,000, and again, if things don't work out, we will make a profit on him. He's only a small lad, 5'2", for the youngster, but again, his 2.5 star current ability is a win back already. Anyway, I think he will be a very good player for us. Efekan Barlik has come in from Göztepe. He's a 6'4" striker. He's a strong lad, very determined character, good work rate, really good jumping reach. His pace is okay as well. Finishing, again, not the best, but he will be a really good target for us up front. And he can play as a pressing forward as well. Obviously, his primary attribute is as target forward, but he will be dangerous from set pieces, which is why we brought him in. His strength, his jumping reach, and his natural fitness as well will certainly suit the way we play. We then spent £1.1 million on Elias Becker, who's a 18-year-old left back again, 2.5 star of current ability. And again, I think we've done really well to bring him in. It's his minimum valuation, which is what we paid for him, and he's worth a little bit more than that as well if we really are to maximise his value. And again, very good determined character with a decent work rate, good pace and agility, and a really good crossing ability as well. Marking and tackling, very good, and a good technique. I think we brought in a very good young left back there. And this one we've taken a bit of a punt on. We've spent £20,000 on Rael. He's a goalkeeper, Brazilian, 18-year-old, and yeah, his valuation hasn't gone up at all. But 2.5 star of current ability. He's got that extra bit to potential as well. Good determination as well. Positioning is quite good, as is his reflexes and handling. One-on-ones, not the best, but he's 6'2" as well. So I think we've got a good goalkeeper here. He'll just need nurturing in the right manner. And we've completely overhauled the staff at the club. I think we need one or two more performance analysts and a recruitment analyst and a scout. We also need a set piece coach. Now, unfortunately, there's none available. So we're just going to have to do what we can um, in that manner. But overall, really happy with that deadline day. We've been very busy, like I say. The players aren't going to jump straight into the side by any means. We've got a couple of players transfer listed as well that probably will not have a future at the club. Um, Barlick came in to replace Anganis. That was a direct replacement. But the defensive signings were all add-ons, basically. Gonçalves Hugo and Becker. We didn't need them per se, but I think that they'll be very, very useful for us. And yes, they might not play particularly regularly for the time being, especially Becker and Gonçalves, but Hugo will certainly challenge for that left back position. And we've got plenty of options in there. Bayer and Wall, of course, came through the youth academy, so they're in as reserves anyway. And Framberger will be leaving at the end of the season, so we've already replaced him, and we've managed to get some of the older players to sign an extra 1 year contract as well, which is ideal. It just gives us that little bit of something to focus on, and hopefully we can continue our decent start in charge here of Karlsruhe. So in goal today we have Druers with Hugo making his debut at left back. Berger, Frank and Shad make up the rest of the defence. Bernich, Wanitsek and Jensen in midfield with Bergzorg, Teshi and Lugiki as the front three. Arian Lugiki hasn't really had too many opportunities. Personally, I don't think he's going to make the grade here. He scored 9 goals in 34 games last season. But I don't think he's particularly going to make the grade. But I think, to be quite honest, I'd rather start Barlick up there. And hopefully he can get a good start. Elias Becker takes his place on the bench. And there's a couple of youngsters that haven't made an appearance yet for the club that were already here as well. So other than that, we're looking pretty good. Wanitsek and Jensen, by the way, with Bernich in that midfield, really solid. They've been outstanding for us. Wanitsek has been scoring a few goals as well. So we're looking good. I just hope that bringing Berlick in can keep us within touching distance in terms of goal scoring. Hansa Rostock sat in 5th place. They've got a couple of very good players. We've had a good start to the season. I say to the season, to our time in charge with 3 games unbeaten. And we're scoring plenty of goals as well. 12 goals scored in our 3 matches. And we look to push on here and hopefully we can get off to a good start. Koke here in goal. Plays it to Fafana into Neidhart. They're just knocking the ball about quite nicely. Bergzorg missed his challenge, unfortunately, but he has managed to win it back. Charges down this left-hand side here. Has got an opportunity to play the pass, and he finds Bernich in plenty of space in that holding midfield role. Now Jensen. That's a great pass. Tachi is there, and that is a lovely goal. It's his 6th of the season. He's actually the top scorer, believe it or not. Obviously, following Anganis's exit. And that is a very positive start from us. 3 minutes in, and we found ourselves ahead. Like I say, we had to get the replacement for Anganis. The other players that we brought in are potentially to replace the older players that we've got ready for next season. But at the same time, we've already signed them on to an extra year just so that we can make a full assessment of the squad come the summer. But as things stand, we are moving out of that relegation fight, which would be an outstanding achievement considering we've only been here for a few games and we were rooted to the bottom of the table. So promising signs, we just need to keep it up. Here's Ingolson. Shad intercepting, finds Tachi. Now Wanitsek into Efekan. He was unlucky, dress up, managing to win it back. Kinsombe finds Kyle George, and that is a lovely finish from the Brazilian Kyle George. He's far too good for this level of football, by the way. He should be playing in a top league somewhere. They've taken their opportunity, that is for sure, but it's a very even game so far. Here is Shad, inside to Jensen. Now Frank. Knocking it back into Drews. Now Berger. Just holding on to it and finding Wanitsek. Into Jensen again. Couldn't find Bergzorg and they managed to win the ball back. Now Kolka. Knocks it out to this right hand side. Kinsombe in loads of space and Shad couldn't get onto him and it's played back into Dressel. Now Rosbach. Into Ingolson. Good putting enough pressure on them though. It's good to see that we are taking note of the tactical scenario that we are trying to implement here. Fan it into Kalambaye. And all of a sudden they've broken in behind with Neidhart and it's an opportunity here and it's a really good save from Druers. He's been outstanding in goal as well for us, I might add. But it's been a steady start, but Hansa Rostock just starting to turn the screw a little bit. And a good effort there off the base of the post and out. A free kick was given anyway. And it remains 1-1. Rostock so far have been the better side in terms of chances created. But I'm quite happy with the way that we're playing. Here's Tashi. Plays it out wide to Shad. He's got a bit of space to run into. Has support in the penalty area if he can find it. Jensen couldn't quite get the cross in. Shad does pick it up though. And he does well in doing so and finds Wanitsek on the edge of the area. And that is a thunderous strike from Marvin Wanitsek. And he continues his remarkable start under my tenure. He has been outstanding. He's 33 years of age, I might add. Not the type of player we normally make too much use of, but he is really spearheading that midfield at the moment. It's another good strike from him, and we retake the lead here. I'm a little bit concerned defensively at times, but other than that, I've not got too many issues with this squad, to be honest. And unfortunately, we've conceded from a set piece there. Rossbach very easily getting in with the header, and poor marking, really, from our point of view, very easily dealt with by Hansa Rostock, and an immediate response once again. This time we were only ahead for 3 minutes. Burnich here with a corner toward the far post. Efekan was there, and he won the header. Kolka making the save. Bit unfortunate, but that is what we've signed Efekan for. He is a striker as well. He will be dangerous from these set pieces. Hugo here into Burnich. Now Efekan into Wanitsek. And unfortunately, the pass just missed out. Hugo trying to win the challenge, and again, just not quite connecting properly. Kyle George looking over the top. Shad won the header, but Kinsombi picks it up again into Rossbach. Now Dressel into Kinsombi, and Kyle George is in. It's a great save from Drewers, but Kyle George was offside there. He just made his run a little too early. Again, I'm really happy with the way that we're going at the moment. The fact that we're keeping toe-to-toe with Hansa Rostock, they're in 5th place. Like I say, they are challenging for a promotion. But I was looking at the table. If we win here today, we're about 15 points from the top. It's only 5-game swing, you know, and obviously that isn't the target here. The target is just to not get relegated. But, you know, I think it's a very congested league, and there's every chance we can really push forward this season and finish mid-table, but relegation is the immediate concern. Here is Jensen into Efekan. That's a nice pass into Bergzorg, and he's cutting inside. It's into the penalty area, and it's a good save from Kolka. He just took an extra touch too many there, I think, Bergzorg. He could have laid it across as well. And Wanitsek here with the resulting corner, swinging it toward the far post. Efekan is there at the back, couldn't quite get onto it, but he has picked it up now, trying to turn in the penalty area, and they manage to get it clear. Frank here into Tachi. Here's Efekan again. He's certainly proven to be useful with his strength as well. And Wanitsek, that's a good save from Kolka. I think it surprised him, the strike there, and he managed to just turn it wide, should I say. And Burnich here with the corner, aiming toward the far post as we always do, and Kolka doing really well to get the claim there. And it remains 2-2. But yes, we're conceding a lot of chances, but we're creating a lot as well. And I think we're quite an exciting side, to be honest. We've just got to really knuckle down and hopefully find our legs a little bit defensively. Here's Ingolson into Rossbach. Under a bit of pressure, but he lays the pass to Fofana, and they've got a lot of space here on this right-hand side with Neidhart. Now Kalambaye, good block by Wanitsek. Neidhart picks it up again though and finds Bachmann. And now Fofana in space, looking for Kalambaye. And again, they're knocking the ball about pretty comfortably. We're not looking like we're going to get near them at the moment. This is Ingolson trying to make the turn. And again, we're keeping the pressure on, but it's just not quite happening. And Kinsombi has managed to get there, and Kalambaye at the far post. Luckily, it's gone over from our point of view. But again, a little bit concerning that we're not winning the ball back, but we are looking solid with our shape at least. And I'll be happy with the draw today. Furth is the one that we need to focus on winning. We really need to beat Furth. Furth are behind us now in the league, and that is a big game. Here is Dasbach into Rossbach. Now Kinsombi. Again, they're knocking the ball about with confidence, and now Ingolson. Again, just moving the ball about. Hugo hasn't had the best of games at left back today, but I'm not looking at making changes just yet. Here's Berger. After receiving the ball from Drewers. Berger into Wanitsek. First time to Hugo. Tries to play it down the line, but he cuts inside for Burnich. Now Wanitsek again into Bergzorg. That's a lovely turn from him. He's got support. He goes alone, though, and Kolke didn't even move. And that is a brilliant goal from Delano Bergzorg, and we are ahead here. And again, this team shouldn't be doing as badly as they are. The, the fact that I've taken charge here shows that I've got confidence in the side, but I thought that with Charlton. Obviously, that didn't work out, but I looked at the quality of players that they had, and I thought, you know what, they just need a bit of guidance, and that's all it's taking so far. Koke with the kick forward, good header from Bergzorg to make them turn back, but Dressel picks it up comfortably, and Rosbach into Dasbach. I am keeping an eye on fitness as well of the players, but so far we're looking pretty good. Ingolson, oof, Rosbach let it run, and Jensen almost got in on there. And that is a great ball over the top, and Kinsombi's in behind, and it's 3-3. Offside, maybe? The referee's just having a look at it. I'm not sure if he was offside or not. It is borderline, and the goal has been awarded. It's 3-3, and again, defensively just letting the side down a bit. We're just going to pause for a minute. I think we will make a change. Corbinian Berger is on a yellow card. We'll get Kobold on in there. Burnich is struggling a little bit, so Silaroglu is going to come into that defensive midfield. Bergzorg is also struggling. So I think Roche can come on there, and Taki can move to that left-hand side. I'm not too disheartened with the performance. It's just a little bit leaky defensively, and Frank, of course, not doing too well with his pace. So it's a bit of a risk, but we're going to change both centre backs. And I think we'll get Gavri on at left back as well, just to try and shore up that left hand side. We've changed 3 defenders here. It's a big risk, but hopefully we can get up to speed with them very quickly. And we're going to offer some encouragement to the lads as well. Gavri into Wanitsek, Taki down this left hand side. He's got support behind him in Gavri, and now it's Cialaroglu, and now Jensen, and he's put it just wide. Didn't quite get hold of the shot. I think it just went across him a little too much. But again, it's been a very even game, and at 3-3, I am pretty pleased with how we're doing. We're scoring plenty of goals. Yes, conceding 3 today isn't ideal, but this is an informed team. And overall, I'm quite happy with the performances. Yeah, defensively a little bit suspect at times, but drew us with a brilliant performance. And again, the midfield doing extremely well. And to be honest, I can't really argue too much with that. I'll say I'm disappointed, which is a little bit harsh because I think we'd played pretty well there. Vayan have got a game in hand. Sorry, I was just checking to see what the team are. But in terms of goal difference, we've actually got the best goal difference in the bottom half of the league, aside of Hanover, who are at the same level. So goal difference is certainly something that can work in our favour, providing we get the points on the board. And that is especially important, as I've already mentioned, in our next match. We're against Furth, who are bottom of the league. A win against them would really give us confidence and potentially push us up the table a bit. We could go above Kaiserslautern, depending on their results. And depending on Vane's result, we could also go above them as well. And we're in with an opportunity. It's just going to be a case of knuckling down a little bit and just trying to just stem the flow slightly with goals conceded. But in terms of scoring goals, I couldn't be more happy. So we've got just over a week to go until that Firth game, so bear with me. We'll get through this time off and then we'll be back. It's a bit of a longer episode today, but I think it's important that we get a proper feel for this side. And fingers crossed, we can get a good win in our next game. Okay then guys, here we go for the game against Firth. Just above my head you can see Regensburg are sat in 16th place now. They actually managed to win their match recently, so we've dropped down to 17th place again. We're in a much stronger position, I think. A win here and we go up 2 places. So we've got an opportunity here. It's just a case of, like I said before, knuckling down and trying to focus on the results. We're making a couple of changes, potentially, but I do want, if I can, to stay up front. In fact, we're making no changes. Drew's in goal, Hugo, Berger, Frank, and Shad at the back, Bernich, Jensen and Wanitsek in midfield with Bergzorg, Tachi and Efekan up front. Wanitsek and Jensen just swapping sides. I'm just rotating it a little bit with them two just to see who I find better at which role. Wanitsek continues to do well regardless, so we will hopefully be in a better position going forward. Berger wants to explore options at the end of his contract. His expires at the end of next season, as has Lugicki, and the other one was Kerber. All three of them came to me in the same day. They want to explore options at the end of their contracts. Fair enough. We're not going to force players to stay if they don't want to. Yes, it's a shame, especially with Berger, I think, a little bit longer, but he is 31 himself. So we do need to eventually try and work our way through and gradually filter out the older players that we do have and try and bring in some younger players with good enough quality. So going into this game against Furth anyway, we've got to win. It's a must-win game, this one. They are below us in the table. They'll be under the same impression, of course. We need to do well. Kalhanoglu with a delivery, and Nemeth is there, and Furth are ahead. And again, set pieces are undoing. We have conceded early on. 10 minutes gone, and it's 1-0 to Furth. Not ideal. But plenty of time left in the game anyway. Michalski managing to clear there. Hugo chasing it down, just about manages to beat the winger to the ball there and finds Bernich. Takes a heavy touch, but he does well to keep possession. Bernich into Berger. Again, back out to Hugo. Chance to move down this left-hand side. He's doing well. Again, he's not fully committing, but now Jensen into Wanitsek, and that is a good strike again. And he's playing the other side of the midfield, remember, Wanitsek, but it's another good goal from him, and he continues to be a very key player in that midfield. Like I said before, he has hit the ground running since we took charge, and an exciting start to the game. But with the way that we are going forward, I fancy us for goal scoring side of things. It's just defensively, and Firth have been by far the better side so far. We need to pick it up as the game goes on. Here's Itta into Kalhanoglu. Inside to Becker. Back to Kalhanoglu again. Into Ndongalesia. And now Kalhanoglu plays it in. Again, it's Ndongalesia. And we're behind again. There's a hint of offside here. I think it'd be harsh if it was offside, but end-to-end stuff here in the opening 20 minutes or so. The goal has actually been disallowed. So we've gotten away with that one. We need to sort this out pretty quickly, to be quite honest. We are growing into the game a bit now, but Firth very quick off the mark here. And just going to demand a little bit more from the team, to be honest. We need to really knuckle down and get a result today. A draw is not enough. And half-time at 1-1, it's certainly settled down after that opening 20 minutes. But we need a win today. And hopefully we can find a way through to get ourselves a win. And unfortunately, Bergzorg's picked up an injury, which is less than ideal. We're going to get Dennis Bott on for an opportunity. The youngster. Oh, I've taken the wrong player off there. Dennis Bott, I mean, is a good young player. We're going to bring him on for an opportunity. And hopefully, with him being a youth prodigy of the club, he will settle into the side a little bit. Is Gavri actually left-footed? He is, right. So that's not ideal. I was just looking in terms of right back because Shad is struggling for a performance today at the moment. But for once, we're actually struggling going forward. We'll leave things as they are for the moment. But we may have to make a striking change sooner rather than later. And again, we're going to demand a little bit more. It's probably, in terms of going forward, it's probably the least likely we've had to score, in all honesty. But we are picking up more chances as the game goes on. It's just not quite happening for us. Shad here with a throw into Wanitsek. And now Frank. Holding on to it into Jensen. Bernich. Just holding on to it. Lofts it over the top. Taki manages to get in behind. No offside given, and Efekan should have done better there. And Machoy does well to clear it, and he's found the meth. And Furth are potentially on the counter-attack here. We've done well to snuff them out a bit, but the move will continue. Michalski over the top to Mamdi, and an opportunity down this right-hand side for Furth. It's swung in toward the far post, and it's off the post, and Shad manages to clear. Bot picks it up and just knocks it out for a throw. We got away with that, to be quite honest, and again, we're going to have to make some changes here. Fietiap is on the transfer list, but we're going to have to bring him on, I think, and we're going to get Lugicki on up front. I think midfield-wise, we've not been too bad today, and I mean, Gavri can play at right back, so we're just going to have to play him out at right back, to be honest. And I think Marcel Frank can come off for Christoph Kobold as well. And hopefully we can find a way to get a winner. We've been by far the better team. We're going to demand a little bit more. A draw is not enough. Here is Hugo into Arp. Bit of a lazy pass, but Kobold picks it up nonetheless into Wanetsek. Now Bot. That's a great ball over the top of Lugicki. In behind. Oh, he's hit the woodwork. That is a huge, huge chance. Kobold picks it up, finds Bot. Gavri now moving down this right-hand side, but again, it comes to nothing. That was a huge opportunity. Lugicki off the woodwork. Lint here in goal for Firth, looking to play it out. And it's a poor pass, and Bot steals in. Big chance, and it's saved by Lind. And again, I think, unfortunately, Bergzorg or Taki score there. And that is a huge, huge missed opportunity. And unfortunately, oh, don't say this is going to go. Fraulo here with a free kick. Not like this. We've deserved to win this game. Fraulo, it's off the woodwork, and the header afterwards is well claimed by Drews. My word, that was close. Still, we go on. Here's Jensen. Burnich plays it back to Berger. The referee's still not blowing his whistle. Kobold, we've got space on this right-hand side, and he finds Gavri. Cuts inside onto his left foot, finds Jensen. Now Fietiap. Hugo. Lugicki couldn't get the strike away. It's just about cleared. And I don't know why that highlight was even shown. We didn't even have a shot at goal. We had twice as many attempts at goal and on target as Firth, and we've just fallen a little bit unstuck there. And we were very unlucky. I'm not happy that we didn't convert our chances. We're still in, I mean, we're all in touching distance, there's no doubt about it, but we need to be winning games like that. And it is a little bit of a concern. Bergzorg is going to be out for a while, unfortunately. He's fractured his wrist. What's made his official debut for the side. And again, Vanitsek doing the deed for us, which is good. But unfortunately, no wins today. But we are still unbeaten since taking charge. We've just got to really knuckle down and get some results. We've got some tough games to come. We'll probably get through the next probably 5 games or so, and we'll come back for Nuremberg and Dusseldorf, I'd say. Thereabouts anyway. And then there's only 5 games left of the season. Then it's Kaiserslautern and Heidenheim. And if these results are anything to go by, yes, we're playing well, but it could go down to the wire as to whether we stay in this league or not. But Nuremberg and Dusseldorf tomorrow, and hopefully in the meantime, results will continue to go in our favour. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.